Good morning, pregame crew. It is Wednesday, November 17th, 8:23 a.m. Eastern, 6:23 a.m. Mountain Time. Good morning, good morning. Happy birthday, Madison. Audiovisual check, please. Hi, Blue Dog, Philip, Night Truck, Alnick, hey Lisa, Mal, Scott, Hayla, Judd, Tamazon, thank you. Hey, Roger, Neil. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. Thanks to our mods. Our mods rock. I really appreciate what you do. Thank you so much for being TCG leaders and moderators. I'll look at it right now, Amira Asia. What about that? Good morning. It's a beautiful day to be a trader. It's a beautiful day in general. Good morning, George. Hey, Blue Dog. Let's look at NGD. Daily bull flag potential with a daily inside bar. That key support, $1.71. You got a double bottom there. Amira Asia. What am I doing? Get me my brush right here. We got a daily double bottom, bull flag, 4-hour EQ. Nice little squeeze with a hold of 50. I like it. I like it, Amira Asia. I really do. Hey, Dino, Chris, George, Blue Dog, MG, Sarah, Future, Shane. What's my exit strategy for Google? Mustang, Trey, Brian, you're welcome. Hey, Daniel. Hey, George. I'm going to look at charge point. So charge point is part of the infrastructure bill where the government is setting aside money for the charging infrastructure for EVs across the country. We have a weekly inside bar for now. High of last week, 28.29, low of 24.08. We could stay within that range the remainder of the week. Actually has a high probability of doing so. We're right in the middle. Come back at that higher low relative to 24.08. Let's see. But right now, I would say it's just sideways action, constructive. Nothing alarming about what's going on here. We will go over Tesla. Hey, Bebop. So charge point. There you go, Lisa. Hey, Bobo, David, hit the like button, please. Hi, Daniel. Hit it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I got a question this morning from Shane Hughes. Shane, I don't know if that's okay that I used your last name. So I'm Chart Gallery on Twitter. Shane is asking, he wants to hear my story this morning. How'd you get started? When did you make the switch to full-time trader? And you like my book recommendations. Awesome. I'm so glad you do. I will go over it very briefly. A lot of you are just here to see charts, and I can respect that. Time is money. Time is very valuable, so I can appreciate that. So I went full-time July of 2018. I had my dream job for 20 years in healthcare. I owned my own company. I was a partner in a physician practice. I had real estate. And I was no longer fulfilled and I could not grow. I felt like I had learned everything there was to learn about nephrology and healthcare, at least in my niche. And I just felt lack of passion. And then I sold my business and realized I did not have enough money to retire like I thought I would. And that my financial advisor had me in all REITs at 12% commission back to her. She didn't even have an education. And not saying that you have to have an education to be a financial advisor, but it was just very obvious she was in it for the commission. I graduated from LSU in business. I have my MBA, and I'm like, if I can figure this out, like, I'm not going to rip myself off. And so I started trading. And then in June 2018, I really just said, that's it. I'm just going to pursue my passion. And honestly, I followed someone else's trading style for a year and I struggled full time because I just kept following their style until I realized I need to find my style. And that's what I talked to y'all a lot about. And that's when I started becoming consistently profitable. So July of 2018, I did have other sources of income from my prior life, and that made my trading journey easier. I didn't have a lot of debt. And Dan talks about that a lot in his last AMA, Ask Me Anything. And I think that's pretty important, is that you don't have the stress of lots of debt. I didn't have small children at home anymore. And I've always been the full-time breadwinner, with my kids growing up. So that would have been stressful. So that helped get my journey all sorted out before I needed the money. Hit it. Netflix. What's your top trading book recommendation? Okay, John, well, I'm going to throw you for a loop and not answer your question directly. I think my son is 20 years old, so he's expressed a little interest in trading, and I am pushing him to the strat. I think for a 20-year-old that doesn't have a lot of life experience, which is fine, I think that trading can be overwhelming with all of these nuances. And I think the strat is a straightforward approach. And I don't want to say it's simple. I'm not demeaning or downplaying how evolved the process is. I think it's an amazing process. But I'm pushing my son to YouTube videos on the strat. I have him following Sarah. I think Sarah is one of the absolute best people out there for the strat because she's open to other ideas. Some people are very absolutist with the strat, and I get it. You know, your process works. You don't want to deviate or accept other ways. But anyway, long story short, I'm pushing my son to the strat. I think it's simple. I think it's something straightforward that he can understand. Here's step A, B, C, D, E. I think a lot of times the way I approach the market with correlations, laggards, it can be overwhelming and it requires a lot of bandwidth, and I just want to make it simple for him. So I am recommending to my son the strat, and that's what I would too if I were you. And then trading in the zone. Once he's been trading for a while, if he's struggling with psychology issues, trading in the zone is awesome. And I highly recommend the exercise at the end of the book where you do 50 trades and you duplicate one system and you only follow that one system and track your trades. Sarah is an amazing educator. What is the strat? So if you go follow Sarah, and we have a strat channel in TCG. She was a member of TCG and still is, Sarah Strat Sniper, and she has this pinned here, all of these awesome guides. Again, I don't follow the strat. I do have some principles I've learned from Sarah, but I don't follow it exclusively. My style works for me, and I think that's the most important, is finding something individualized that works for you. Good day, Diego. It's right here, Amira Asia. Right here, Sarah Strat. Her YouTube channel is right here on Twitter. All right, and this is me. I'm Chargal Lori. And welcome to the pregame show. I'm Chargal Lori. We teach technical analysis. We have a thriving community of 1,036 of my closest friends. And we post setups. We post news. We have amazing commodities channel, crypto alts, crypto Bitcoin, Ethereum. We have marijuana channel. We have uranium channel. We do it all. And I must be totally forthright. I have had an amazing past 7 days or amazing few months in crypto, and it is just crushing my stock gains. So I continue to focus more and more and more on crypto, and I'm ready to short it when the time comes as well. I'm not just like one jaded bull. So crypto is just where it has been for me. All right, so you're at the pregame show. We go over indices, crypto, commodity movers, and shakers of the day. So I see that we have a potential daily cup and handle forming on ES. If you ever, let me show you this. If you ever have a chart that pulls back pretty significantly and you assume a lower high is the most likely scenario and we double top, immediately start looking for a cup and handle. So any chart where we have a decent pullback and the odds favor a lower high and we just zoom right straight to a double top, then start looking for a cup and handle. And that coincides with this weekly bull flag potential we have on the table. So those all match up. Now let me go to the 4 hour. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's on the screen now. If you have questions about my chart setup or anything, we have mods in the room. They are awesome and patient and answer questions that you may have about my chart setup. They know my style. Let me just point out on the 4 hour, we're holding that 50 RSI. Very constructive. We broke this low 4690. We hit 4688 and bounced in this 4 hour EQ, which was my story of the day. So yesterday we were here and we said, okay, we have an EQ. We broke bull. Okay, we had another EQ. We had a tiny bear break and bulls are buying that dip as if it's a little 12 hour bull flag. So even on the 12 hour, we have a little bobble here. It's not ideal, but on the 12 hour, I can make a case for a cup and handle as well with a bull flag. And that makes sense with this little bear break, tiny bear break without a lot of follow through. So that's ES. Very bullish. 4-hour EQ, potential daily cup and handle. I am not looking bearish right now. NASDAQ. Okay. So yesterday in our notes, what did we say? We said that, let me pull up my notes. I said indices, 4-hour EQ, YM bull break. Is that the canary? Well, guess what? 4-hour EQ, guess what got the bull break this morning? NASDAQ. NASDAQ got the bull break. So it is in a 4-hour uptrend. And it too could have a cup and handle on the way. It's not as advanced because we didn't get such a close double top as we did on ES. We came within $2 of it. So NASDAQ 4-hour bull break. That is positive for technology today. RTY is pulling back a little bit harder. RTY has been sending way mixed signals, lots of mixed signals. So careful with IWM. We have resistance at 2409, 2427, support 2384, 2378. But let's zoom out. Potential weekly bull flag. Ain't nothing bearish about all-time highs and ain't nothing bearish about this chart. I stand by my sentiment that I've had for the last 2 months, y'all. Has it been 2 months? Bullish, bullish, bullish. RTY is bullish regardless of what's happening on a 4-hour chart. This weekly chart is super bullish, and it's bullish until it isn't. It could even break this 2378 even to 2375 area and still bounce and be a weekly bull flag. So I'm not getting super bearish on RTY, but I do have all of my spidey senses kicking in saying be careful with IWM names today because shorter term time frames aren't that great. But if you missed this pop up on RTY, what are you doing? You're waiting to buy a dip. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting to buy another dip. I had RTY and I'm looking for more. Oh, I just noticed this little trend line here, something to be aware of. Again, potential weekly cup and handle on YM. 4-hour EQ, not as constructive. We have enough room for higher low compared to 35946 and your next support 35839. Resistance 36238 and 36255. So let's break it down. Today, what I see that I like is Apple and Bank of America. So that's XLF and technology. Okay, what fits within that scenario? The fact that NASDAQ has broken the 4-hour EQ up to the upside. Okay, that makes sense. XLF, not as much because RTY, the number one holding in RTY are financials. That XLF chart is a beaut. So that tells me that maybe XLF can redeem RTY and change this trend and get this weekly bull flag underway. That was a lot for you to process. I get it. It's a lot for me to process. Okay, so on VIX, we had this weekly bear flag. I just want to remind y'all of what happens with the VIX. So we went up and we came down and broke to a lower low. Look by 11 cents right here. 11 cents. We broke bearish and then we zoomed higher. Look what just happened. We broke bearish by 12 cents. Are we making a whole nother thing with VIX? I think it's a thing. We have a potential 4-hour bear flag on VIX, but caution with these bear breaks with very little follow through, like right there. Yes, it has the psychology of a potential 4-hour bear flag, but I'm cautious with these tiny bear breaks by 11 cents, by 12 cents, and then it just keeps then it zooms higher. Resistance 1708 and 1746. Bitcoin had a pull back, potential hourly little bull flag, not ideal. You want big pulls. When you have a bull flag, you want a big pull, and then you want that bull flag at the top. This is not that. However, it is constructive. We have enough room for a higher low compared to 60262. Then wait, let me say that again. Sorry, 58,500. So, is that right? Why does that candle not look below that candle? I guess it is. I'm just wonky this morning. 58,500 is your key support. Resistance 5082438, then 61170. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart, we're still holding the 8 EMA. This is just a little touchback to the 8 EMA. We're holding 57,653. Now, bulls want to look to put that weekly higher low in and bounce. And on any bounce, we may get a lower high. So we're just watching all scenarios on Bitcoin. We ran into the daily 50 MA. And I'm calling this a double bottom, a tweezer bottom, within $100 on a $60,000 instrument. I think that's fair enough to say potential tweezer bottom at that daily 50 MA. This could be a buying opportunity. Ethereum, we didn't even come close to that daily 50 MA, but we did break bearish from the prior day low a little bit more convincingly. Hourly resistance 4299, 4349, support 40102 and 4068. I like this squeeze. I'm long Ethereum. I'm long Ethereum right now. This 4-hour got oversold. Bitcoin 4-hour got oversold. So now I'm just questioning myself, why did I go long Ethereum when it broke this key support a little bit more convincingly than Bitcoin? So I need to go journal about that and figure out why I did that. I don't know. Gold. Gold, don't forget these levels over here. 1860 is 1863, 1864. We went up and over that level. And if you look at it on a 4-hour, we're not closing above that level. So we have just a lot of price history in this 1860 area. We're getting an upper wick of bulls taking profit, bears shorting, support 1859, 1853. The goal in gold is get that weekly higher low, which we have set. Now we're going to look for a higher low. And I would say the 1800s could be a safe area to buy. A more aggressive area would be let me go back to a shorter term time frame. Would be actually in this area at the 4-hour EMAs. We have enough room for a higher low compared to 1851. Oil inventory, 1030 this morning. Oil's doing exactly what I wanted it to do last week. But I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. Okay, so we got a higher low, we bounce, and then we drop. So are we going to get a bounce up into the $80, $81 area and then break bear to mimic this action over here? Because it's just so similar. $76 has just been my target on oil. And I've been watching these EMAs. We'll see what happens here. Very frustrating that it's doing what I wanted it to do, but such is life. Nat gas, if you went long with me yesterday, I hope you did well. My average was 4765. I sold in the 532 area, I believe, and I have 2 contracts left, and I've been adding contracts this morning looking for a higher low compared to 471. I'm still long nat gas out of this 12-hour potential falling wedge. Apple, inverted cup and handle. Yep, it's a thing. No, my Squeeze Pro indicators are the default. Good morning, Zia. Yay, thanks for joining us, RM. Hit that like button, why don't you? Okay. I had some things I wanted to share with y'all today. Let me go ahead and share them. Okay, so those of you who attended my group mentoring class, I gave a free class within TCG, and I had initially opened it up to 10 people, and then we had so many people just asking to get in that I did 2 separate classes with 10 or 11 people each, and we went through this presentation. It was about an hour, and it was defined by, a lot of the slides were based on what people wrote as their weaknesses, their strengths, what they needed help with. So this is one of the more important slides. I talked to y'all about trading system. Always, I have the slides written down here that I want to share with you. What is your trading system? Define it. Each person. This is the key thing. I tell y'all about it being an individual sport. I can't tell y'all how much money and pain I suffered, money I lost and pain that I suffered trying to follow someone else's system. It must be your system. It must resonate with you. It must be something that you can put into play. It's just natural for you. It's like tying your shoe. Stay in your lane and smile and wave at everything else. If someone's saying, woohoo, look at uranium, it's awesome, and you don't trade uranium and it's not your wheelhouse, then smile and wave. Trade that one system, that one setup 50 times. Document the challenges, miscorrelations, divergences, entries, exits, position sizing, and then determine what setup is your 2 aces versus are you just getting a 4 and 6 offsuit. Determine what is 2 aces for you and hit it. Hit it hard. What is it? Okay, slide 18 and 19. Tamazon was part of this. She remembers. A lot of you asked what my morning prep is. I scan the news via Twitter, CNBC. I look for standout news names with substantial news. Like this morning, it's so funny. I put new CFO back in July and someone announced this morning, we're getting a new CFO. Who cares? Who cares? Now, y'all remember Square when they lost their CFO? It actually impacted Square negatively because she was just such a powerhouse. So not all executive changes are received the same. You have to kind of fish through that. but I conduct pre-market high volume scan. I'm looking for names that have more than the expected move since I'm an options trader. Once I find big news, good or bad, go look at the chart and see, do the technicals match up with the news? Was it ready for this news? Did it indicate prior that, hey, this may be happening? Is there a tightening range? Is there a squeeze? Is there high short interest? I scan all big names every morning. I scan names that have been in news hyped as of late, CMG, CCL. This was back in July. And I update trading view list for today's list, and I clean up that list to focus list only. And I told y'all, someone asked me yesterday, how do you keep this all straight? If my Oracle trade, I did it at open, I exited at resistance, and I wiped that chart off my screen. I'm constantly only keeping charts up that I'm focusing on for day trades. If I'm looking at a swing, I just set alerts. I don't open those swing charts. It's too much noise. So the next one, last one, morning prep part 2, I mark up the levels on the chart, prior day high, prior day low, daily, hourly levels, analyze volume. I make notes on chart. No matter what the news is, it has to have some pre-market volume in order to be a mover. With Shop, Amazon, CMG, they don't always have pre-market volume. I create orders and toss for options. I make the buy to open super low. That way I just have to replace the order and go. Then I shut down Slack and all volume in an office. Oh, meaning all sound volume in my office. I write down everything that needs to be in focus on the computer, notepad, and notebook. So I just stay super focused. I have my notepad. I say, okay, here's my top 4 focus for the morning. Here's another focus for midday. Constantly just keeping my blinders on to what I need to see. So that's just a few tips for you today. Apple's still my favorite chart. We're holding the 50 RSI. We have a squeeze. We have a daily EQ. I am positioning myself within this EQ for the preceding trend, then sideways. I'm positioning myself for higher lows to the long side for Apple for December and January. I like this chart. We had some news yesterday about virtual reality, and I just overall like that chart. BAC, I can't believe I'm saying this again, but XLF and Bank of America are my favorite charts. Potential weekly bull flags. We have a squeeze. We're holding this 50 RSI on the daily. We're holding the 50 RSI squeeze on the daily. Look at this 4-hour squeeze, y'all. And I think this could be a fun lotto for Friday. Now, it may need to tighten up just a little bit more before we can get going and position ourselves within this, but this is powerful. And I can't believe I'm saying it. XLF, look at that. Super tight. Financials can tend to be a yawner, boring, but looks good. Google. I went over Google yesterday for a potential faux Head and Shoulders, looking for a potential weekly bull flag on a higher time frame. We're still within an inside bar. And I'm still watching Google for a potential long play. We're holding this 4-hour 50 RSI. On the hourly, we dropped below it. I would say a pullback buy to 2946 would be warranted. And I'm looking for new all-time highs. So I'm looking for a break above 3012 with Google. And I like it, the prospect of Apple and Google going long. Why? Look what Microsoft did yesterday, new all-time high. They could be our canary, folks. I also like Amazon long as well. LCID, lots of hype. It's coming back pretty hard this morning. So I'm just going to give you all the levels. CEO is on CNBC. Now they're selling the news. Lots of EV hype. Biden's heading to Detroit to highlight and feature EV names. Upgrade. Watch for that 5-minute back burner. But 7812 would be the target after the prior all-time high. We're selling off pretty hard right here. So the back burner trade's off because we got the back burner in pre-market. So now that's off the table. So your resistance right here, $57.87, support $56. These bulls may be finding some exhaustion. This was a big move up. Lows, $3 billion buyback. I forgot to write notes on this chart. They had earnings. They killed it. $3 billion buyback. That's huge. High of low bar, set up, queen of the mountain on lows. I'm looking to go long. I'm not going to buy this gap up. I need a pullback to buy. Now, so there's a lot of cloud names in my list this morning. Now, Palo Alto, Vive, I think Palo Alto is more security, but Vive and Now, those are Queen of the Mountain setups. We have a potential, ugly, but potential cup and handle, potential, head and shoulders. Weekly bull flag on Now. This is getting super tight. We have a squeeze on the daily. We're holding the 50 RSI. We had elevated bull volume. We broke this resistance 69174 by 82 cents. We need more convincing bull break. Then your next resistance would be 69728. NASDAQ has to go. It has to go for these to work. If not, wipe them off your list. Palo Alto, new all-time high yesterday. Look at this beautiful squeeze. Look at this hold of 50 RSI. Look at this elevation in EMA, the SOTIMA. Beautiful chart. Dan will be live in 12 minutes in the TCG room. We have a squeeze. Would love to buy a pullback. If 52137 can hold, would love to buy a pullback on PANW Qualcomm. Investor conference yesterday. Metaverse mentioned. Lots of upgrades this morning. Look at that volume. 33 million and the average is 18 million. Double the normal volume yesterday. We could go sideways all day, but I think this makes sense for a potential pullback buy, potential 4-hour bull flag for a look into January. This is a super constructive chart. RSI is extended, but we're at all-time highs. So, beautiful chart. Tesla, long. I'm looking long now. We went over our potential hourly inverse head and shoulders. We had a move up yesterday. We're pulling back a little bit. I'm still looking long. I know Elon keeps selling, so that's some overhead pressure. But man, this thing's been holding steady with all of that selling. That just tells you how bullish this chart is. Let's see. When did he announce? That was last... Wait. Here is when he had that Twitter thing. Yeah, this is so constructive. We're right here at the daily 21 EMA. And we're at the weekly 8 EMA. Elon could not ask for a better scenario with this chart holding up so well with these millions and millions and millions of shares being sold. Vive, Queen of the Mountain. Look at this hold of the 50 RSI. Squeeze. Daily inside bar from, Monday. Bullish engulfing candle. If we can pop above this trend line and get over yesterday's high, again, cloud names are in focus. Hourly squeeze. This chart looks great. This chart looks ready to explode. Give me a pull back. Give me an hourly bull flag. XLF, again, gorgeous. Okay, now here's the 3 names that I've been trading in crypto. These are the 3 meta names. So don't forget, Facebook's changing its name to Meta for Metaverse. December 1. Here's 3 of the top 7 meta names. If you're interested in what crypto meta names there are, you can go to Crypto General in the TCG chat room, and I started a thread on all the meta blockchain names there are, and we've just been killing mana. So AXS, I just love this name. Beautiful chart. We need to be aware of a potential hourly rising wedge, but looks good. Mana, I just continue to buy all dips as long as it works. Sand, I continue to buy all dips and as long as it works. And when it stops working, it'll stop working. All right, what questions do y'all have? PayPal, okay, so PayPal got downgraded. Visa got hit this morning with Amazon news. So Amazon's no longer accepting the UK Visa. So they're getting hit. We were below the daily EMAs. We're below the weekly EMAs. Are we below this? 206.73 is that key weekly support. Then 205.78. I would just look to short any bounce on Visa. PayPal getting whacked with that downgrade. It was finally having a bounce off that bottom. It got leaked over here. They were thinking about buying pins. They said, no, we're not buying pins. And everybody said, who cares? We're still going to short you. So they're still getting whacked. Next support, 208.21. Oracle, loved yesterday. Yeah, love Vive. Love Vive. Oracle, nice move yesterday. I sold right here at this resistance of 96.55. I sold around 96.20. It could go sideways all day and just get his footing back under it, but overall still a very productive chart. And again, we're in that cloud space. Cloud and EV, cloud and EV. Now EV may sell. Rivion's getting hit. Tesla's pulling back. Lucid's pulling back. So EV had a big hype morning, but they may pull back the rest of the day. ADNDD. I'm just going to spell it out. It's so ADNDD. That's what I look at on TOS. And that is the advancers, decliners for NASDAQ. And I look at it on TOS, and you have to spell it with a dollar sign, or spell it, but dollar sign ADNDD on Thinkorswim. And I track that for market internals. It's my dashboard. How fast are the bulls driving the car? How fast are the bears driving the car? And who the heck is driving? And it helps me ascertain that every day. This chart, squeeze, got whacked. Earnings. This hourly chart's getting really tight. 159.38, 160.24 are resistances, support 158.51 and 158.25. I had someone ask me a question over Twitter DM, and I thought it was pretty funny. I had some pictures to show y'all. I thought it was pretty funny. So now that I'm officially done, this was my graduating class. So if y'all want to know where the accent comes from, this is me. I was the president, vice president, 10 people, 3 boys, and this was my cousin. So of the 3 boys in my class, I was related to him, I was related to her, related to her. So that was my senior class, graduated with 10 people, public school. So I thought I'd share that with y'all. I am a country girl, and I got addicted to trading in a good way. Can you view ADNDD on TradingView? I don't know how. GOV is up big. Another EV name. Pulling back a little bit like the others. 1360 resistance. Support 1171, 1159, 1112. Aw. So hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Bring a friend tomorrow. And I really appreciate y'all being here. I love what I do, and I hope you can feel that with every ounce of my being. I love y'all. Use stop losses, and TCGers, I'll see you in the room.